This is Kelso reporting from my College of Advanced Football Handicapping, kind of recapping the weekend of football and talking a little bit about what's coming up. And by the way, there is a football game on Tuesday night. We'll get to that in just a minute. You know, I won my 100-unit college football game of the week on Saturday as Buffalo crushed Western Michigan 33-0. Got terribly unlucky on Sunday. I lost my 100-unit NFL game of the week when the Patriots scored on a 34-yard touchdown pass with just 5 seconds to go to beat us out of the win and cover with New Orleans, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. My Best Bets Club closed out the week 6-2, had a dynamite week. Now tonight, Monday night, it's my 50-unit Monday night game. The Indianapolis Colts at the San Diego Chargers. I have a very, very strong feeling about this game, and I do believe that I found all the winning edges here. You don't want to miss this game. 50 units on the Colts and the Chargers. Also a 15-unit Best Bets Club play on the total in this game, going for my third straight winning Best Bets Club total in this spot. So once again, a 50-unit play on the side tonight in the Colts and the Chargers, 15-unit play on the total. Both those releases are available on this website and toll free at 1-800-755-2255. All major credit cards are accepted. Now a reminder, the first Tuesday night game of the season is tomorrow night. Louisiana Lafayette at Western Kentucky. Very important Sun Belt game. It's to be a 15-unit Best Bets Club play, and I do intend to get the cash there. Now this is truly a showdown week in college football. I'm going to just mention 3 games here, but there's far more than 3 that are of tremendous significance. We've got Florida State at Clemson in a battle of unbeatens. This game will be televised on ABC Saturday night. I will have a selection on that game. We've got Florida at unbeaten Missouri, a real SEC showdown. That game will be televised nationally beginning at 12:20 on Saturday. Florida is a 3-point favorite. Unbeaten UCLA at Stanford, an ABC game on Saturday afternoon. Stanford a 5-point favorite. And I don't remember whether I mentioned it, but Florida State is a 3-point favorite at Clemson. Now my college top 25 is headed by 5 teams. You may disagree, but this is where I stand and I believe in what I'm doing. Louisville is still at number 1, LSU number 2, Oregon number 3, Florida State has moved into the number 4 spot, Clemson at number 5. My next 100-unit play is coming on Friday night when Central Florida, ranked 20th in my poll, meets Louisville. Now Central Florida is a real test for Louisville. This is a team that's won at Penn State rather easily and has lost only to only to South Carolina by a mere 3 points. The conference championships up for grabs here, and the automatic BCS bid that goes with it. One of these 2 teams will represent this conference in the BCS. So you can't underestimate how important this game is. I do have strong feelings on it. I see the money has moved Louisville's way, and I intend to get it at a 100-unit level. Central Florida, Louisville, wait and see. Now on Saturday I'll be going for my 4th straight winning 100-unit college football game of the week. On Sunday we'll go for a 100-unit NFL game of the week. And for those of you who have been asking, my 200-unit college football game of the year will be released Saturday, November the 2nd. We have the perfect team in the perfect spot to continue my winning run in these games. Now let's get into a couple of handicapping issues. What happened to Georgia? You know, up until this week, Georgia was ranked 2nd behind Louisville in my poll. By the way, Georgia is still in my top 10 despite 2 losses. Well, you know, Missouri crushed Georgia this week, 41-26, and you say to yourself, well, if they were really number 2, how did this happen? Let me tell you something. Georgia went into that game having played probably the toughest football schedule in the country and was without, get this, its 1 and 2 running backs, both of them game breakers. It was without its top 3 wide receivers, every one of them game breakers. And you know, you do reach a point where your ability to win against a good team is dramatically diminished by the number of game-breaking skill players that you had out. Georgia had 5 game-breaking skill players out for that game. It's top 2 running backs, it's top 3 wide receivers. Don't worry about Georgia. Georgia will be back when it gets healthy, and may end up being the number 2 ranked team in the country. Who knows? But they're still in my top 10. Now, if you're one who plays the bounce, I've got 4 spots you really need to look at this week. Keep in mind, I only play the bounce off a negative performance. I just find it far more consistent to see teams bounce back than for a team that played way over its head than to bounce downward. So here are 4 games that you need, 4 teams you need to look at on Saturday that are in major bounce back form off of negative performances. Oklahoma got beat 36-20 by Texas. They're a 24-point favorite at Kansas. Stanford got beat 27-21 at Utah. They're a 6-point home favorite over UCLA. You've got Washington beaten 45-24 at Oregon, a 3-point underdog at Arizona State. Northwestern got beat 35-6 at Wisconsin. No line yet on their game against Minnesota. I can almost guarantee you one thing. Now listen to the names of these 3 teams. Oklahoma, Stanford, Washington, and Northwestern. I can almost guarantee you that 3 of them will win and cover. Teams just do that off a negative bounce. Keep that in mind as you're handicapping. In the NFL, interesting week. I just want to make a few observations which I think you might think about as you do your handicapping for this coming week. You know, Arizona has been an underdog in all 6 games this season. They're 3-3, 4-2 against the number. Buffalo, an underdog in all 6 games. 2-4 straight up, 4-2 against the number. You'd have to think that they're a little bit undervalued. 4-2 against the number for both of them. I watched Carolina play. Carolina is a team, even though they won, is absolutely bogged down in a world of mediocrity. I don't see this team going anywhere. Denver, everybody's team, 6-0, but just remember this, Denver is 3-3 against the number. Did not cover against winless Jacksonville on Sunday. Houston, I cannot tell you what's happened to this team. They they opened up with 2 wins, didn't look good, neither one of them, by the way, and now have lost 4 straight, and they have lost them just looking incredibly awful. I don't have the answer here, but I'd have to stay off of Houston or go against them until future notice. The New York Jets supposedly arrived last week with that big win over Atlanta. That was a mirage, my friends. They take the field on Sunday against winless Pittsburgh and got buried 19-6. Now, guess what the New York Jets face in the next 3 games? They get New England at home, they play at Cincinnati, and then they return home to play New Orleans. This is a team on the way out. They never were, and I never bought into the media hype, I'll be honest with you. Now, the most disappointing NFL teams of the season so far have to be the Washington Redskins, who are 1-4. The aforementioned Houston, and Tampa Bay is 0-5. Jacksonville's 0-6, but that's not an unexpected thing for me. I thought that was going to happen. The biggest surprise, the Kansas City Chiefs, 6-0, 5-1, and on their way. Just keep these things in mind as you handicap this week, and remember all my selections, all the games, and let me remind you again, there is a game tomorrow night, Tuesday night, Louisiana Lafayette at Louisville. It's on national television on ESPN. You can get all my games on this website and toll free at 1-800-755-2255. Thank you very much for watching today. Hope you learned a few things. I'll be right back here on Thursday morning with my next report.